allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This land of ours is under attack. Time has come, we're gonna take it back. Just wait and see. Don't tread on me. I won't sit back, stand idly by. Watch the heart of my nation die. Oh, not me. Don't tread on me. Don't tread on my Bible, don't tread on my guns. Don't you tread on my faith in God's only Son. Don't tread on me. Don't tread on me.
Hey everybody, this is Jon Marietta, and I am the Hillbilly. It's another Trump-tastic day in Fayette County. Today's show is being brought to you by Monarch Windows and Doors, Miles' Garage and Tire Center, Mung's Auto Body, Fayette County Recovery, Storage and U-Haul, 724-323-3833. Give them a call if you need something stored or you need something brought back home. PatriotsOnline.com. Country Motor Sales, Gary's Auto Sales, Gunslingers, Auto Ordnance, Tactical Civics, Solid Foundation Ministry, New Life Free Methodist Church, Highline Motorsports. Go see Greg. He's always got something for sale up there. And I don't know if he has anything playing the snow with. I guess he probably has quads you can run around in. Gun Owners of America, Hillbilly Jon Radio, Jon Marietta for We the People, Thundering Hill Feed and Supply, and the Ink Spot in South Connellsville. I'll tell you what, if you need ink on paper, they're the people to do it. They do a ton of work, and they're always good, and it always comes out great. I want to start out with this today. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, the people he chooses for his inheritance. That's Psalms 33:12. I'll tell you what, Fayette County, it's a new day in America, and I don't know about y'all, but I'm feeling fired up. Yesterday, Donald J. Trump took the oath of office for his second term, which really is more like his third term. And let me tell you, his speech was exactly what this country needed. He reminded us who we are and what we stand for. President Trump didn't dance around the issues. He took them head on. He affirmed what so many of us have been saying for years. There are just two genders, and it's okay to proudly be a Christian in America again. No more being ashamed for living out your faith or standing up for your traditional values. These days of being silenced are over. Today, we're stepping into a new golden era. The Trump presidency is going to do what it promised. It's going to make Fayette County great again, and America great again also. Here's the deal, folks. We've been through the ringer for the past 4 years, watching our values getting trampled, our voices ignored, our freedoms chipped away, but no more. We, the people, are taking back what's ours. And if you're not down with the Trump agenda, I got one piece of advice. Get out of our way. Because here in Fayette County, we're rolling up our sleeves and getting to work. We're standing up for property rights, our faith, our families, and the Second Amendment. We're putting America first, just like Donald Trump said he would. This is our time to rebuild, to restore, and to make sure future generations have the same freedoms and opportunities we fought so hard to protect. So Fayette County, we are getting the train put together. And we are going to power it with Fayette County coal, natural gas, and oil. Yes, we do have oil in Fayette County, and we're not going to use it to make America great and Fayette County great. So jump on board, grab a seat, get a hot cup of coffee, because this train ain't stopping. We're going to lead this charge, and nothing's going to stop us ever. How's that?
That sounds marvelous. Magnificent.
You magnificent.
Magnificent, John. Magnificent.
I got Melania Trump here beside me today. I understand that if you can't see it on the radio, but what do you call that hat?
There is a name for it. I'm not sure. There is a name for it, and Melania brought it back. This was an old one that I had from the 1990s. Had to dust it off, but it's a classic. And that's what we have back in the White House.
From what I understand, my wife told me that she can't find one in Uniontown, so I guess Amazon, they're looking on Amazon.
Or you know what? Go to the secondhand stores. There might be some old hats there, or some antique shops that you'll find one
this
from
This is going to be like what would you say, the pillbox?
The pillbox that Jackie Kennedy brought the pillbox back. Now Hillary Clinton wore a hat when she was when Bill Clinton was inaugurated, the first inauguration, but we didn't pay attention. I don't remember what the hat was.
I mean, yeah.
I thought she looked real sophisticated. I think you see a different first lady yesterday in the past 2 or 3 days than we saw when Trump was first inaugurated, and I think rightfully so. That image that she said she was making a statement with that hat. People were saying they couldn't see her eyes or whatever. She was making a statement, and I think I heard it loud and clear that she was telling, the powers that be, the old guard, that she's not going to put up with it anymore. You raided her home. You raided her bedroom, her underwear drawer.
You don't thank people for that.
No.
It's time for. There's a reckoning coming.
It's coming, and you attempted to, take down her husband twice with 2 assassination attempts, and she's not fooling around in the next 4 years. So we're going to hear a lot more out of Melania. She's going to be stronger. She's courageous. She's a smart, intelligent woman. And I can't wait to see what she's going to be doing in the White House. It's just a great time. Like Trump said in his inauguration, in his address, and many times yesterday, America's decline is over. And I feel the same thing with Fayette County here, John. With you as a recorder of deeds running and the future that we have, the decline of Fayette County's got to stop right now.
Yeah, I mean,
now,
the party needs to be called accountable for everything, and believe me, after what we found out today, we'll iterate more of it tomorrow. Reiterate more about it tomorrow. But we found out some things today. The Uniparty is alive and well in Fayette County. They're all getting ready to. Yeah, they're alive and well. And you know what? I tell you what, I got to give John Lucas a shout, because everybody needs to understand this. At the 11th hour, Biden, and I can't call him President Biden because
it was the 11th and a half hour.
11th and a half hour. He didn't hand out pardons to unconvict people. He gave them a license to break the law, and that's what this is kind of all about. I mean, if you really think that, I mean, you don't get a pardon why would you accept a pardon if you didn't do something?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
think
just an
about,
admission of
and
guilt.
why would you do it while the minute before the man says, yes, I'm here to protect the United
Sneaking it
States
in there. That's where we've had enough of that. That's going to stop, and that's not over. These people are not off the hook. There's going to be investigations. They're not off the hook statewide. I mean, there's still more stuff from what I'm reading that can be done.
I read something, and maybe you've read it because you read a lot more than I do. But I was kind of like in between a lot of things this weekend. But I read something about how the January 6th Commission that all the records are gone.
Yeah, they destroyed the evidence. They destroyed everything.
They destroyed all the records.
Oh, yeah,
but they left these people in jail.
Yeah, so they're gonna. I hope they lawyer up as soon as they're released. And with Pam Bondi in, which I think is she going to be decided today? When are they going to vote on it? As soon as she gets in there, then things are going to change.
I think Pete was first, wasn't he? Was Pete first today?
I don't know. I can't.
Have you heard anything, Nick, on the news? About any? Okay, so, but I do know that they're trying to slow walk this. So, but we'll see what happens.
And they're probably not in any hurry to get Pam Bondi.
No, because
at the head of the Department of Justice, they're not in a hurry to have her or Kash Patel in there.
But like I said in my opening, he stood up there and he didn't back down. They thought, I mean, we do need to unite as much, but the people that are accountable for these crimes need to be held accountable. There's no doubt about it. I mean, if it happens in Fayette County, or it happens in Washington County, or it happens in the state of Pennsylvania, or federally, they need to be held accountable, and so it doesn't happen again.
Yeah. Well, we're not going away here in Fayette County, that is for sure. We're going to hold some people accountable here in many different ways. We formed that MAGApatriots.org, which is a website that's put together, and I'm going to keep you informed on what we're doing. And we're going to have a MAGA mixer the end of February. More information will follow to educate the people. You want to run for school board, you want to run for judge of elections. This is how we keep their feet to the fire. And we're going to just, round up the troops, circle the wagons. What we've seen in the past 4 years, these liberal policies just don't work. They're built on fantasy. We've had enough of it. For years, we heard about the windmills were, the answer to energy, and the windmills and the solar panels, the Green New Deal, the electric cars. This is all based on fantasy. Looks good on paper, but in reality, it doesn't work.
Exactly.
It's the same thing we're seeing in Fayette County with the budget, spending all this money on fantasy instead of policies that work. Reality, business-minded people don't think like that.
No.
And
here
it's
in
going to come
Fayette
to a
County,
stop.
Mitsubishi, and I know I didn't say that quite right, but that's the hillbilly way of saying it. But anyways, they put in a solar farm, and we've been raped so many times here in Fayette County. We got raped with the timber to begin with. Now and then the coal barons came in, and then the natural gas wasn't taken care of properly. So if it was taken care of properly, we wouldn't be paying no taxes right now. They're taking our stone out of Fayette County, and nobody's paying for that. We have all these different things that's going on. Just think about it, people. All the resources that are being stolen out of Fayette have left Fayette County. We still have, God has given us 200 years of coal. We have no idea how much natural gas for sure is underneath our feet. And guess what? I had an engineer tell me that there's oil in between some of the layers of natural gas, and they can't see. They don't have no idea how much it's gonna be. But eventually we'll get around to it. Maybe it'll be not this our generation. Maybe it'll be my grandson. But it's there. So we need to figure out how to use these resources to keep. It's just like Trump said, drill, baby, drill.
Yeah,
and dig. That's what we got to do.
Business is back. Let's bring it right back here. The MAGA agenda is based on reality and common sense. You call it. You've heard that too. Common sense policies are back. And he's burning like crazy. Day 2, what did he do today? I haven't kept track. I'm all still in a whirl from yesterday.
I think he signed was it 200 executive orders yesterday?
Yesterday, yeah. And then today, back again in the early morning.
The one thing he did do, which I know, I will tell you this, and this makes me feel good because he said about all the unions. He said about all the unions that supported him. I really want I really want people to understand this. I am a Republican, an R behind my name, but anyways, I will tell you that I've battled for the unions. Little Giant Eagle out there, and different times I got called in to do contract negotiations. But this man has stood up for the unions, but he didn't stand up for the elite in the unions. He stood up for the rank and file. And that's what we need here right now in Fayette County. It isn't about the elite in the Republican Party or the elite in the Democrat Party. It's about the regular people coming out to vote. And that's what's going to change this county. It's not going to be the people that think they're owed. It's going to be the people that come out, that work for a living, that pay taxes. And by the way, not only are your taxes going to go up at the county level, your taxes are going to go up at the school board levels too, because they have no choice. The economy's put them in a lot of this place. They've spent unwisely at the county level. I give them a pass on a percentage of that tax increase because of inflation, but we didn't put that inflation in there. It was the Bidens that put this inflation amongst us. And whether you realize it or not, inflation is a tax. It is a hidden tax. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, it's we're on a roll. We're unstoppable, John. I'm excited. I think we're ready. We're ready for the momentum. One of the things, the bright spots too, that he's doing is to eliminating that DEI. This equity rate, hiring people at the federal level, and this goes for anything. This is even for your politicians. You want to be hired based on your accomplishments. If you are a doctor, you're on having a surgery done, you're on the operating table. You don't want your doctor standing over you who was only hired because he was a male or a female or of his race. You want the best. You want the best doctor. When you get on an airplane, you're walking on the airplane, you don't want the pilot who's sitting there to be hired because he's a DEI. You want to make sure he was the top pilot, the smartest, brightest, and most intelligent that's going to be flying the plane that you're in. And we should demand that of our politicians as well. And we need to pick the brightest and the smartest and, the most qualified to run for office. And I don't believe we have that in Fayette County. Well, we've got, that's a whole other show, but we have to start demanding, even with school board directors. I was talking to somebody over the weekend at the inaugural ball that Washington County Republican Party had, and a young boy, probably 30, 31 years old, looking to get married. He's dating a really nice girl, a beautiful Christian couple. And I said, why don't you run for school board? And he never thought about it, but he's young. And hopefully we'll have children in the school district in here. And he felt like he didn't know enough about being a school board. So we're going to be talking about those things at the MAGA Mixers. Yeah. Because there's going to be school board positions opening up in May. And things that we're going to vote on that people really aren't paying close attention to. And the thing about school boards, you don't know who you're voting for.
No,
you never know. There's never a debate. Yeah, it's just a popularity contest.
Most of the time, when people run for school board, the only thing you know who has enough money to put out the most signs. Or put out the cutest signs.
And people say, well, you need a woman. No, we need to start hiring people, voting for people that are qualified, not that DEI mentality that we kind of think we have to have a woman or you have to have a man on voting for somebody just because of their body parts.
I always tell everybody, my dad taught me a long time ago. My father-in-law first taught me this. If you want something done, you go to the busiest person there is.
Oh yeah.
Because my father-in-law was a coal miner, but he always told me, he said, the busier they are, the more they're going to accomplish. And he said, that's just how people are. Yeah. He said, if you go to the guy that don't have no work, there's a reason why he doesn't have no work. Yeah. He said, if you need your engine fixed, you want to go to the guy that's got working on the most engines. Yeah. So anyways, my dad always told me, he says, if this country would take the Howard Hughes approach to things, that we'd be so much better off. Because Hughes was a businessman. He was a businessman, and his dad was a very good businessman. But a lot of people say he was a wackadoodle. But when you're rich, they call you an eccentric. So, anyways, but if he couldn't figure out how to do something, he found somebody that could do it. Or if he wasn't able to engineer it himself, he said there got to be somebody out there that's willing to give us an idea or figure it out, and they did. Yeah. They built a plane without rivets, which was unheard of at the time. And the reason they took the rivets out, I believe, it was just to get another mile an hour or 2 miles an hour out of this plane actually. The Zeros, the Japanese Zeros were copied from that particular plane that he built because Zero was way faster than anything we had at the time. We can go on, and that's another World War II story. But anyways.
But that's innovation, and that's what we need in this country to bring that back again. Incentive and innovation for people to be, thinking, and not just for the elite, for us, the middle class.
Like Elon Musk, he puts all that money into launching these spacecrafts up in the air, and bringing them back so we can use them again. What about that?
Yeah, that's
just think about all these things that Donald Trump's putting in place. He's putting people in place to figure out what's going on, how we can do things better. The DOJ is going to be an important part.
Oh yeah,
and like you say, hiring people by their merit instead of anything else.
Yeah, instead of equity, which just ruined this country, ruined education, ruined our school system, ruined everything. that's going to stop. That's going to stop. And I'm excited about that. And
Well,
that's why I said it opens up the innovation that this country was founded and built on, including immigrants and everybody. The talented, you come here the right way. We're not against immigration. He's not against that. You just, he's going to get.
I really feel like the Grant tree that the Bidens had behind the White House just got cut down, and they dug the stump up yesterday, and they're covering it up with manure right now to make sure the grass will grow when the spring comes. But I mean, just think about that. I mean, this got to end. The first thing that he signed, though, I believe it was the very first thing he signed, executive order, was the emergency on the southern border and on the Canadian border.
And they were right in. They went right into place. There's a photograph. It was instantly as soon as it was signed. The guards, everybody was up there. I think somebody may have got hurt, too, in the past 24, 48 hours. One of the guards there. But, yeah, that went up right away. It stopped, and then I see videos of them turning away in Mexico, turning around and going back to their countries.
And he told the lady that was the reporter, I mean, he's signing these executive orders, and you can see him reading them with one eye, and he's talking to somebody else, and I'm thinking, like, how do you do this? But he did it with such I want to say pizzazz, but that ain't the right word. It was dignity. I mean, and he gave everybody a chance to ask him that question.
Oh, he did yesterday. How about doing it in the arena in front of 20,000 people?
He gave everybody that. I didn't get to see that part.
He was signing them right there in front. I mean, what an experience in front of 20,000 people. That opportunity never happened.
Yeah, Joe Biden signed him in the dark in a closet. I mean, because he didn't
even know what he was signing. He didn't even know what he was signing.
Kamala Harris didn't know what he was doing either. She was out. Who knows where she was? She definitely never took time to go to the southern border to see what was going on, even though she was in charge of it.
Well, what was fun during the inaugural ceremony was to watch the Democrats watching Joe Biden and Kamala as Trump stood there and criticized all of the policies and the downfall that their administration did in 4 years. It was just fun to watch them. And somebody says, well, Melania was dressed in dark. Well, she was in a Navy suit. I'm in a little Navy suit here with my little White House pins. She was in Navy, but she almost had a military look. And the ones over there, Kamala was in black. They were all looking like they were going to a funeral, and their faces and their expressions looked like they were attending a funeral, which in a sense it kind of was.
Well, you think about it. It took a lot of poise for her to stand there knowing what they did to her husband for the last 6 years.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
even beyond that, 10 years. I mean, from the time they walked down that runway. And I think he's in a better position now. Haven't heard any mean tweets because, back in those days, but back when he came in, the establishment, the Uniparty was trying to punch him out. They were trying to eliminate him. They were trying to ruin his business, ruin his life, ruin his family, They tried everything every day. If you remember, it was exhausting, remember? Mm-hmm. It was exhausting, and he was just punching back. He was defending himself in those years. Right now, he don't have to defend anything. They're coming to him. Those guys that were sitting there, the elite businessmen, the richest men in the world are right there, Bezos and, Elon Musk. They were all once Democrats. Well, Elon Musk was, who switched. But I don't know about Bezos, but he has Democrats now, smart businessmen, that are coming, coming on his side. And he's the great negotiator, The Art of the New Deal. You got to read that book. But more than that, it isn't the money. It's the minds behind that. These are brilliant men who have used their brains and their talents to create the wealth that they have over the years. So Trump, I think, is harnessing that intelligence. And like they're going to do, I think with AI, he's going to make an announcement on that today. They got to harness that in. And so he has to have the best and the brightest brains to do that and to sit around a table and talk about it. And that's what he's noted for, is to sit around the table and hear everyone's positions, good or bad, and then make a decision. And that got him the success of today, where he is today as far as a developer and transforming New York City. Back when, things were going down the...
I like when he tells the story about the skating rink. He watched how the debacle in the skating rink, and then finally he got so upset about it. He said, "I'll just take care of this," and he did. And 2 months later, they had a skating rink.
Time, yeah. I mean, that was Rockefeller Center, right?
I think, yeah, but I
Yeah.
don't remember exactly which one. But he watched this because I actually
That was in the 70s when New York City was not, high on crime and, just much what you're seeing today with the liberal policies. Again, it's a fantasy. It doesn't work. It creates crime. It makes people miserable. And we're back to business.
Then he thanked everybody, the firefighters,
Yeah.
the EMS, the emergency
Wasn't that-
workers, the police,
And the Butler, the people that were in there
yeah,
from Butler, Pennsylvania, that was
people
up
in
there.
Butler, and
honored
they were in
Corey
the little
Comparator.
parade there inside, and
Well, they led the parade.
yeah.
The Corey Comparator family and the
And
rescuers.
he made sure that was taken care of correctly. I mean,
He did it constantly. How
Yeah.
about when he spoke to at one of the balls last night? Spoke to the armed forces that were in South Korea. Did you see that live feed?
I didn't.
Oh, was that? I mean, you just cried. I was so emotional and up and down yesterday in tears of joy of how he's recognizing people who are there in the trenches, saving this country, defending this country, that are in dangerous parts of the world, and he just put them on a pedestal the whole weekend. Recognized them from even the wreath ceremony at the placing of the wreath of the unknown soldier in Washington D.C. the day before the inauguration.
Yes.
He brought the wounded warrior, the gentleman with the leg removed and his arm removed. He brought him forward, and that's just so touching. That is just he's recognizing our military that has just been thrown under the rug. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just and I heard him say too that the past 2 months, military recruitment has gone up. That people are wanting to be on his team and fight for this country. So it's been going down with all that DEI and all that stuff. And I think Pete Hegseth may have a little bit to do with that too.
It could be.
When people see this young military man with such experience and pride and was out there with them, he recognizes where the fault is and where you need to trim the fat in the military.
I think that you're going to see a lot of things happen really fast. The first 60, 80 days or 90 days, I think you're going to see things happen. I think now we're seeing there's a rumor floating around. I didn't realize it, but somebody called me and they said actually that John Fetterman's contemplating on changing to being a Republican.
Yeah, but no, that was just a
That was
rumor.
just a rumor?
He squashed that. He said that's not true.
But
That's not
anyways,
true.
he's willing to work with Donald Trump.
Yeah, but he has to learn how to dress. Did you see he was in shorts at the inauguration?
Yeah,
and
I
a
didn't
hoodie.
I didn't pay that.
Yeah, that's
Hulk Hogan talked about him. It was funny. Hulk said he if he took, what did he say? If he took that hoodie off, he'd look like a real gentleman or something.
well, he would.
Hulk
He
had a
would.
tuxedo on, but he tore the sleeves off of it.
Yeah, I saw that. That was just so much fun. I had a couple of friends that went down there and said the security was just everywhere. I was happy to hear that. There was security everywhere. Merchandise was being sold everywhere. Now, I went to the inauguration in 2017. I got a pin here, got a little White House pin here when I went. And you couldn't find any merchandise. Everything was hard to find back in 2017 as he just was getting into office. Obama was leaving and he was into office. Couldn't find any of that stuff. Security was there. That's when they had the Pink Ladies. It was on a Saturday back in 2017, and the Pink Ladies and Madonna were there the next day to, the LGBTQ. So they were there, but nothing of any major
Well, it might have been too cold
skirmishes.
for him to come out this time.
Yeah, well, they said they were there, but there was just so much security. I think policemen, volunteered their services. I heard from all over the country were coming in to help out, to make sure that the people, the patriots that were down there, and as well as Trump, was going to be safe and nothing was going on. So we can be so thankful for that, because after July 13th, I don't trust anybody. But now that he's in office, it's a different feeling. I sleep much better at night. How about you?
Yeah.
I sleep much better knowing that Donald Trump and his new team is going to be putting together a great a great golden era.
I think this is gonna. I think this is gonna roll down. I think it's gonna roll down. I think you're gonna see a big movement. The mega movement's gonna be something that's gonna take hold. I really do. It's already taken hold. We've elected a president, and we made sure that it was done more better. How's that? I won't say perfectly. Let's say more better.
Well, we have a lot to work on. We have to keep this momentum going because the MAGA movement is around Donald Trump, and the Republicans still are.
People didn't change parties because of anybody else. People changed because of
Donald Trump.
They didn't change because
the Republican Party has great. Because they don't. They're still the old guard, and they don't want to recognize it. That Trump is the MAGA party, and the Republican Party is alive because of Donald J. Trump.
And you're seeing that. You was at a very nice function on Sunday evening down in Washington County. The MAGA Republicans down there.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
wonderful.
Them people were really nice. Ashley Duff is the chairman.
The new
chairperson.
The new
chairperson for the Republican Party, and it's the patriot groups that are taking over. We had this feeling again. We had this movement, but it never came quite through the way it has this time. I don't think.
Well, it's alive here in Fayette County. Trump got 70% of the people that voted for him in this Fayette County election. So, without a doubt, we know where the people of Fayette County want to be with his policies. Again, it's based on reality, not fantasy, and we're the middle class. We're back in charge, and we just have to keep rounding up the troops here and keep that momentum going because we'll slip back down. Now we got an important race in the primary here.
Yep,
and we have to make people come out to vote, and we're going to fix the elections. We still have an eye on that here in Fayette County.
Oh yeah, we got people that's going to
still have some questions
coming in from different counties they'll be here for the primary to make sure things go. We're going to watch and we have people that's going to have documentation, so we'll be able to watch what's going on, and we'll be able to see what's going on.
Well, I know that the Republicans seem to think they don't know how to win. Without Donald Trump, they didn't know how to win.
And he said, we're going to win.
They stopped. The Republican Party, I read, stops like when the dog stops when he catches the car. That's the Republican Party. They stop. Well, Donald Trump won. We're okay. Elections are fine. No, they're not. There was still cheating that went on here in Pennsylvania and across the country. They lost Senate seats. Carrie Lake was one. They lost Senate seats to Democrats with, they were still, in fact, in our own state, they were still counting for 30 days for Casey. And McCormick said was, he's not going to win. I got the most votes. But if you look, Donald Trump won Pennsylvania by over 120,000 votes. Dave McCormick, you're a Republican. You only won by 15,000 votes. And that's just because Casey conceded. And in my opinion, the reason Casey conceded was because pressure was on by the Uniparty to stop this nonsense, because we election integrity advocates were getting a little too close, and it would have opened up a can of worms with election integrity written all over it, and they didn't want to go there. So I think Casey was forced to concede as they were trying to cheat.
Yeah, and the one county, it was Berks County. They said they were going to keep. They were counting Bucks County. Bucks County. They were going to count them, and they didn't care where they found them at,
or what the law said. They didn't care. Just going to keep doing
they were
it.
Going to count them, and they did count them.
And the Republican Party just stood by and watched. So we're not going to let the fight down here. The MAGA Patriots are going to continue that election integrity fight. We're going to educate people how they can become a judge of election, and that's an important election this May. We need to have people eyes on it. That's they still cheated, but there were still lots of eyes on them everywhere in this state of Pennsylvania, in the eastern part as well as here, and we're still fighting that. Trump won because of his star power. his rallies. I mean, there'll never be anything like that again. There is no Republican. We like J.D. Vance. He's pretty cool.
It's going to be hard for J.D. Vance yeah.
There's never going to be rallies like that. I mean, that momentum, that star power he was on. And then his son was helping him too, Barron, with getting on Joe Rogan and social media. I mean, this is the new upcoming, way to win races. It's the political campaigning is changing rapidly, different. And we've got to get a hold on the elections, I feel.
Well, yeah. You still have to knock on doors. You still have to talk to people as much as you can.
Yeah.
And we did a bunch of that. I mean, let's face it. Look how much we were out there doing all these things. And I will say I'm very disappointed in our Republican elected here in Fayette County. They didn't do nowhere near what they should have done for Donald Trump.
Oh no, they didn't even have signs in their yard, did they?
No.
Until after he won.
Well, until after he won. One of them actually put up a
on.
flag the day after he won. I couldn't believe it. Oh yeah, I got pictures of that. So and we got pictures.
It's a shame.
We got pictures. I mean, so they weren't going to take a stand because they're not that kind of people. They won't take stands. They try to hide from everything. Now with this tax increase, which is 26%. Actually, it's probably actually more than that when you start figuring it out. But people in Fayette County are going to take a hit. I mean, they're going to take a big hit on this, and we need to hold these people accountable for that. There's no doubt about it. These commissioners, and one of them's a Democrat, one of them's a Republican, they both need to be held accountable for it. And people need to get to these commissioners' meetings. They need to get to your school board meetings, and so you can find out what's going on. That's important too. You need to get to your borough meetings. People need to understand that these people were elected, but they're getting paid to work for us, not the other way around. They're getting paid to work for us. And that's what the problem is. They get into office and then they get big heads and they forget about us.
Well, the special interests knock on their door, and then that that becomes an issue, and that's what the anti-establishment, that's what Trump's going after. My little notes here. The leftists here in Pennsylvania counted votes for 30 days here in Bucks County. Let's see, forced to concede. Yeah, that's my little note there. Election fraud is written all over all over our elections here in Fayette County, and they say, oh, it's Allegheny and Philadelphia.
It's not. What a lot of people don't realize, it's about 10% across. It works out to be about 10% all over, and we know that because our election director actually said that it's only 89.1% accurate. So we haven't even got to count all the ballots, and we figured that out.
They won't be transparent. That's the issue.
No,
we want transparency. If you have nothing to hide, why can't we?
Why can't we just see it?
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm really happy with the way everything went yesterday. But I do got a little bit of a story. We got about 5 or 6 minutes. Do you have anything else?
I just wanted to say one real quick thing. The song yesterday, the inauguration, when many of the songs, the national anthem was sung by Carrie Underwood was good a cappella, but the one song that really brought me to tears and got me choked up was the Battle Hymn of the Republic, when the military choir, what were they called, sang.
Yeah.
That just shook me, especially the verse 5 when it says, "In the beauty of the lilies, Christ was born across the sea, with a glory in his bosom that transfigures you and me. As he died to make men holy, let us live to make men free while God is marching on." And they sang glory, and I just was sobbing. It was such a beautiful song. Hit so, and as you see the president there, and Melania, and then the verse 6 is there is less common. The final verse is, "He is coming like the glory of the morning on the wave. He is wisdom to the mighty. He is honor to the brave. So the world shall be his footstool, and the soul of wrong his slave. Our God is marching on." And that God is our Lord. And praise be to God.
Praise be to God.
And the glory is his, as he has put a leader in front of this country and in front of the whole world was watching what occurred in the last 48 hours. And I think the whole world is happy and got a smile on their face that justice will prevail and our God is marching on in America.
In the Carrie Underwood singing, she's just waiting, and finally she says, "I got this," and she just sang it, and it was unbelievable.
Gave me goosebumps. It was beautiful.
But I have a little bit of a story to tell. I really want everybody to listen to what I'm about to say. I want to give all I can thankfulness to Fayette EMS. We had a problem at the house, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But they had to come get somebody. It was snowing, the roads were terrible, and we had to get somebody to the hospital, and it was a hard thing. And these guys came out. They went through the snow. They went on a bad road because it was not a time. I also want to thank the township because they helped. They did what they could. They ashed the roads but they couldn't plow because the snow was coming down. But they got. I will say it was my mother-in-law. They took her to the hospital. They actually probably saved her life. I want to thank the people from Fayette EMS. These people do a job that nobody knows about over and over again. And I know they get paid, but they don't get paid a lot. I don't know how much they get paid, but either. But they were dedicated enough to come. It was cold out. They had to get off the road in the snow and get my mother-in-law to the hospital. It was a hard thing, and we just didn't have no choice. That was the only way we could move her. And I want to really thank these people. They are good people. These guys were from the Republic station, and it was just I just really want to thank them. I wanted to make sure that I took time to do that. They're like the unsung heroes here. I mean, and we don't thank our fire departments and our EMS workers and our law enforcement nowhere near enough. It's the sheriff's deputies and all the things that goes on, and the people that in Fayette County that does all these things. I know they get paid. Some of them do. The fire departments don't. They sell hoagies so they can protect us. I mean, but I really want to thank all these people, and I really wanted to make sure that everybody understood Fayette EMS. And I'll tell you right now, I don't know the county commissioners need to do something to help these people out, and I also know that Greene County now is part of that deal too. So please, if you see these guys and they're wanting to buy a cup of coffee, another $1, what the heck? Help them out. Buy them a cup of coffee or buy them a donut or do something for them. These are good people. These are good people, and they're doing everything. I know you can't do it all the time, but
even baking a little banana bread or take it down to the station there.
I'm sure these guys are going to get cookies. I'm sure Patty Marietta is going to be sending stuff down to the station.
That's good.
I'll be having to make a trip down there, but I want to really thank all these guys. It was just unbelievable.
That's great. Good news. Good to hear that. God bless them.
Yep, and I guess one last thing with you was the Patriot Ball was a real success.
Oh, yes. They did a wonderful job.
Weather was terrible.
Weather was terrible, but people came from all over.
Yeah.
Karen Taylor was there all the way from New Kensington area.
Yeah.
And she came down and just, again, teaming up with great like-minded patriots is wonderful. They'll be visiting our MAGA mixers as well. And, it's just fun. It's just a great time to be here in Fayette County and to be a patriot.
I will tell you, I'm working on a judge candidate, so we'll see maybe 2 judge candidates. So we'll get him here, and we're working on somebody else for March already. So I really appreciate everything that everybody's doing and helping us out with this.
If they want to get involved, go to magapatriots.org.
Yep, and there's a Facebook page too.
Oh
right?
yeah, Fayette Patriots of. Fayette County MAGA Patriots.
Fayette County MAGA Patriots, yeah. And we'll get there. We just started. It's just a month or so. It's not even been a month. It's only a few weeks.
Yeah, just a couple of weeks. And if anybody has any comments or ideas, just, email it on that website, magapatriots.org. Let me know your thoughts, your ideas, questions that you have about school boards, running for judges of elections. We're going to have all that information.
And we're going to try to help out. We're going to try to help these people out because we got people that want to help people out. So we'll see how this all works out. But anyways, I only got 45 seconds, and Nick came back in. So, on this road called life, you have to take the good with the bad. Smile when you're sad, love what you got, and remember what you had. Always forgive, but never forget. Learn from your mistakes. People change. Things go wrong. Just remember, the ride goes on. God bless each and every one of you, and God bless America. I am John Marietta, and I am the Hillbilly. Have a Trump-tastic day.
Yeah.